brand new AV for you. Saving the barrel and cutter, saving the barrel and side. If you didn't count it, he didn't put his life on the line. Plug him, blow a hole through him, get your out for him. Yeah!
The moment NBA YoungBoy started talking about ending Pooh Shiesty, everyone knew this wasn't just your average rap beef anymore. Once YoungBoy's baby mama got dragged into it, it stopped being about songs, sides, or who dissed who first. YoungBoy wasn't brushing it off. He was ready for action. The tension between YoungBoy's camp and Pooh Shiesty's crew wasn't new. It was rooted in old beef and past losses. But when Shiesty's name got connected to YoungBoy's baby mama, Janiyah, things escalated. Back in 2021, rumors flared when Pooh was accused of hitting her DMs while she posted about being single. Janiyah even posted old DMs to prove there was contact, while Pooh denied anything recent on Instagram Live. No receipts ever confirmed anything physical, but even messages alone were enough to plant a seed. Fast forward to 2025, and the old situation resurfaced in a much uglier way. People started claiming Pooh ran a train on YoungBoy's baby mama. Again, there's no evidence, no videos, no confirmation, but the rumor gained traction. When Janiyah pulled out screenshots and old DMs, it added fuel to the fire. And Pooh's response? Damage control. He didn't fully shut it down. He brushed it off as old and tried to downplay it instead of ending the story. In street culture, when someone focuses on when something happened instead of whether it happened, people start reading between the lines. From there, the story took a life of its own. Janiyah was single, public, and clearly not concerned with YoungBoy's feelings, while Pooh was out and buzzing with people already beefing with YoungBoy's camp. One thing led to another, and rumors about trains started to seem believable. Pooh's recent behavior makes it not entirely far-fetched either. Just weeks ago, he tried his luck with Cardi B, so the idea he could have reached for Janiyah while she was single didn't sound impossible to the streets. Whether or not it actually happened, the rumor spread fast, and YoungBoy's response was immediate. He came out swinging, showing that talking about someone's baby mama is serious business. And it wasn't just the baby mama rumors that escalated things. Pooh openly dissed YoungBoy's entire camp. After his release, Pooh went on Bendadon's stream, supposedly for a victory lap, freestyling, teasing new music, acting like he was untouchable. But then a phone call changed the game. During Ben's live stream, Rakai, known for supporting NBA YoungBoy, passed the phone to Pooh Shiesty. That call only added fuel to the fire, further intensifying the...
So when Pooh acted confused and asked, "What's that?" it wasn't ignorance, it was strategy. Pretending not to know 4KT wasn't about being out of the loop. It was about refusing to acknowledge YoungBoy's camp at all. And in street culture, that's colder than a diss. When you diss someone, you at least recognize them. Ignoring an entire movement, that's saying, "Y'all don't exist to me." And he did it on live stream in front of tens of thousands of people. That moment hit hard. Pooh made his choice on live. By acting like 4KT didn't mean anything, he made it clear he wasn't neutral, he wasn't open to peace, and he wasn't showing YoungBoy even surface-level respect. That lined up perfectly with his loyalty to Lil Durk, the same person who had his back through the federal case, kept his name alive on stage, and made sure he was straight when most of the industry went quiet. To really understand Pooh's move on that stream, you gotta understand his relationship with Durk. Durk caught Pooh at his peak, buzzing heavy out of Memphis, and jumped on Back in Blood. That record changed Pooh's career overnight. Suddenly, he was national, tied to Chicago, and moving with real weight behind him. And the music was only half the story. When Pooh caught the federal case and things went quiet, most of the industry backed off, but not Durk. Durk kept Pooh's name alive, made sure he had commissary, and ensured he wasn't forgotten while doing real time. That kind of loyalty changes how you move forever. That's why Pooh snaps at fans who act unfamiliar with Durk. It's all about respect, history, and loyalty. That's why Pooh shut down anything connected to YoungBoy's camp. Pretending not to know 4KT wasn't accidental, it was loyalty in action. Riding with Dirk didn't just mean standing next to him, it meant inheriting his enemies. Once Pooh made it clear he was down for life, he automatically stepped into a war that had started long before he ever had personal issues with NBA YoungBoy. To really understand why everything escalated, we've got to rewind to November 6, 2020. That night is the real root of all the tension you're seeing play out now. Outside an Atlanta hookah lounge, a single moment flipped the rap industry upside down. King Von and Quando Rondo had already been circling each other through music and affiliations. Von was tied to Lil Durk and Quando locked in with YoungBoy. Chicago versus Louisiana tension had been simmering, and with egos, entourages, and reputations involved, it didn't take much to spark a conflict. Outside the lounge, that tension finally boiled over. Words were exchanged, energy was high, and surveillance footage plus witness accounts confirm Von threw the first punch. From there, chaos erupted. Crews jumped in, fists started flying, and Lil Tim, one of Quando's closest associates, pulled out a gun and opened fire. Von was hit multiple times and later died from his injuries. His manager was also shot. What started as a Quando would later say he didn't even realize it was Von at first, and that there was no personal beef, it just escalated too fast. But in the streets, facts don't always matter. Stories are written by loyalty. Von was loved and respected, a true voice for Chicago. The narrative locked in immediately. Quando and his side were blamed for Von's death. Because Quando was signed to YoungBoy's Never Broke Again label, that blame traveled up the chain. By association, YoungBoy's camp became responsible in the eyes of the streets. Once that label sticks, it never comes off. Every song, every move, every affiliation gets viewed through that lens. That's why Dirk couldn't stay neutral. That's why he couldn't let it go. And anyone riding with either side automatically inherited the smoke. When YoungBoy finally responded the only way he knows how, through music, there was no path back to peace. In January 2022, he dropped Bring the Hook. That wasn't just another track, it was a spark on an already smoldering fire. YoungBoy called out R&amp by name, flexed bars about King Von's death, and sent a message that in the streets was more than a diss. He was stepping into sacred territory. Everybody knows R&amp isn't just a block in Chicago, it's a symbol. Home turf of Von, Dirk, and F, tied to countless stories of loyalty, losses, and respect. By mentioning it and mocking a fallen soldier, YoungBoy crossed an unspoken industry line. You don't touch the dead in hip-hop, especially when whole blocks are watching, and that forced a reaction. Dirk couldn't stay silent. The streets, fans, and his team weren't about to let that slide. Dirk's message was clear: we see you, and we won't forget. It wasn't just a post, it was the streets signaling that disrespect has consequences. That set the stage for musical back and forths that pulled in allies, beefs, and sides across the map. The fallout didn't stop there. Tracks like Know As I Know kept shots flying, while Dirk and affiliates stayed in the booth or on social media, keeping the tension alive. The escalation was locked in, lines were drawn, stakes were higher than clout. This beef isn't just music, it's a whole vibe running through streets, socials, and city lines. YoungBoy versus Pooh Shiesty, drama on 5 levels, and it's not even just about who got bars or spit hotter, it's how the people around them react. Social media blew it up crazy. Every clip, snippet, and laugh fueled the fire. YoungBoy laughing at Pooh on IG, that wasn't just jokes, it was a mood. The streets saw it as disrespect. TikToks, memes, random comments, they spread fast. Fans picked sides like it was a war. One post, one snippet, one reaction turns into a full-blown narrative, and everyone watching feels like they got a ride for their side. Then factor in regional ties. This isn't just Baton Rouge versus Memphis. Memphis has. You also can't sleep on emotional scars. Chicago is still hurting from Von, and 4KT crews in Baton Rouge ride hard on survival and pride. A laugh, a line, a post, it hits different. Grief,
Loyalty and pride all collide. Everything feels personal, even if it's just music. The streets react before clarification even matters. That's why beef like this is volatile as hell. Behind the scenes, even crazier. Rappers are just front stage. Affiliates, diehards, cousins, low-level crews, they turn chatter into action. They see a diss, a laugh, a rumor, and suddenly someone's gotta step up. Dominoes fall fast. One move hits, another follows, and before you know it, it's not music anymore. It's real-life energy spilling across cities. Bottom line, YoungBoy laughing, Pooh Shiesty firing shots, alliances from Memphis to Chicago, plus fans and affiliates watching every move. This ain't casual, it's war. This is streets, socials, pride, and past losses all mashed together. And don't even get me started on the beef with Chopper. That's a whole other level, man. N.O.R.E, Chopper, and YoungBoy going at it again? Yeah, it got messy fast. This beef's been simmering since 2019. Chopper went from fanboy to foe, linking up with Fredo Bang during YoungBoy's old quarrels, even name-dropping YB during the Quando Rondo drama. Fast forward to Halloween 2025, Chopper, now rebranded as N.O.R.E the Great, drops KO, a straight-up cinematic diss. We're talking Tupac-inspired visuals, billboards in Baton Rouge, bars calling out YoungBoy's influence on the youth. The wild flex, he posted a decapitated head prop on Instagram. Brutal, theatrical, and designed to sting. YoungBoy didn't fully engage publicly, but by mid-November, his freestyle hints had everyone speculating. Promo or personal? Fans couldn't tell. That ambiguity kept the hype lit. This isn't just music, it's tied to bigger street dynamics. Chopper's Memphis ties put him in the F-adjacent orbit, clashing with 4K loyalty in Baton Rouge. Old Instagram Live misunderstandings, collabs, and name drops became fuel, mixing with Chopper's Tupac homage and cinematic one-sided war energy. At the end of the day, this beef went way past tracks and Instagram posts. YoungBoy, Pooh Shiesty, N.O.R.E, Chopper all played their parts. But the rumor about YB's baby mama, that's what really pushed everything over the edge. Everything else just fed the fire, but that one personal rumor cut deeper than any diss track ever could. It reminded everyone how fragile loyalty and reputation are in this game, and how quickly things spiral when personal lives collide.